Doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their art.
The merciless MacDonald, worthy to be a rebel, for to that the multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon him. From the western isles of kerns and gallow glasses is supplied.
And fortune on his damned quarrel smiling showed like a rebel's whore, but all's too weak.
For brave Macbeth, well he deserves that name, disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, which smoked with bloody execution.
Like Valor's minion, carved out his passage till he faced the slave, which ne'er shook his hand nor bade farewell to him.
Till he unseamed him from the nave to the chaps, and fixed his head upon our battlements. What you guys think? And this, my friends,
Aren't you excited?
I'm super excited. It's Macbeth. Everybody scream, like pause for a second, scream wherever you are, like we're super excited. So this is Unit 3, Macbeth, Shakespeare. And we are going to go over, this video is to go over the Shakespeare, the Macbeth interactive notebooks that you are going to receive each week in order to learn and love Shakespeare's Macbeth. I don't know why I do that, but I do. So welcome, stick with us. We are going to explain this beast of a notebook. So in order to make sure that you understand Macbeth to the highest degree, we've put everything into a notebook, and you'll receive a notebook every single week that you study Macbeth. Now, if you did Romeo and Juliet last fourth quarter, the end of third and fourth quarter, during the time we exited the school, some of you did and some of you didn't. But if you did participate in that, you already have maybe a working understanding of Romeo or Shakespeare. This play is not Romeo and Juliet. There is no love.
No, thank goodness. If you have, and this is what I tell a lot of my classes, if you have that favorite artist that you just had they just dropped a download, there's like 10, 12 songs on it. There's one song that you're like, I don't really like this, but it's because it's my favorite artist. I'll accept it. That was Romeo and Juliet. Yeah. Macbeth, this one is the one. This one is one of the best plays that Shakespeare has ever written.
Agreed. So what you're going to get is you're going to have a Macbeth notebook. Honors, your cover will look like this. And general, your cover will be purple. And there are a lot of things that are similar, and there are a lot of things that are different. And so for general, we're really focusing on characterization. We're really focusing on theme and really understanding that. And honors, you're going to have an additional lens that I'm going to ask you to look at Macbeth with, which is rhetoric, or the art of persuasion, the art of language, because Macbeth or Shakespeare is a master at it, so much so that politicians today use some of his techniques. And so we're going to look at Macbeth through that lens and compare it to some of the politicians today.
Interesting.
So we're going to do that in general as well, but there's going to be that added level with honor. So we just want you to kind of understand that even though they look a little different, a lot of things are the same. So both general and honors can learn from this video. So the first couple things we're going to go through is the first section will be the start section. You'll have directions, schedule, and added resources. And so what you're going to look at right here is the notebook and how to use this notebook. And the video we're making right now will be placed right in that TV screen. So I'm going to put this on present mode, and we're going to talk you through briefly what this is. So if you want to go ahead, Ms. Whitworth.
So on this first slide, while it's in present mode, we can only see the slide itself. And so that's just one way to focus on what's on the screen. So this is an interactive notebook. If you look at the tabs down the side of this, it's set up in the weeks of the quarter, or of the weeks of this unit. So week 1 is the week that we are getting the notebook and trying to understand how we're going to do that. And then after that, that's just kind of our introduction to Shakespeare and Macbeth, and we're learning all the things. After that, the acts are pretty much week by week. Act 4 and 5 is the last acts of the play. They're very short, so both of those will be in week 5. Week 6 is going to be your final exam. So this is our semester exam. You won't have access to that until that very week. We won't talk about it very much until then. So we're just going to kind of skip right over that. It says all of these notebooks will help you complete the final project. The more you do, the better your semester exam is. Now, remember, your semester exam it doesn't go in with your quarter 2 grade. It's not going to be average. It's going to go directly on your report card. So if you tank your semester exam, say you got an A in quarter 1 and an A in quarter 2, and you didn't do well on your semester exam, that F is going to go straight on that report card. Okay. So it is something that will help you get your points to pass the class.
During the weeks 2 through 5, like she said, we are going to read the acts, and there will always be study questions, journals. You're going to be looking at theme and character, possibly one other thing, but it'll kind of be the same from weeks 2 through 5. But this week is all about introducing you to Shakespeare and Macbeth. We're not hiding the story of Macbeth. Everyone knows the story of Macbeth. We're going to tell you exactly what's going to happen.
Right.
But the reason we're going to do that is because everyone does know, and we got to figure out why. How did Shakespeare get to that point?
A lot of times reading Shakespeare is not about trying to find out what happens. You try to find out how this director wants this to happen. So we know that Macbeth is going to kill the king. We know that he's going to lose his mind. What we're looking for is why he's doing these things and how Shakespeare kind of adds suspense and mystery. So we're kind of dissecting the hows behind it. This notebook itself, we're going to be looking at, it's going to be worth about 100 points each week. So what you're going to do is everything that's in that week, we're going to grade as completion for 50 points. Then we are going to decide which one assignment, we're going to grade for accuracy. There's a difference between a completion grade, like they gave you in elementary school, and an accuracy grade, which you should be getting in high school.
Okay. And when we talk about completion, we're not talking about, you need to put some effort and thoroughness, because that's going to decrease your score. So again, the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. But also, if you thoroughly complete every assignment, then your accuracy grade should also be pretty good. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be on point.
So the next part is, and I think we want to mention, so that was full screen, but there are going to be things on the sides that are going to help you complete everything in this notebook. And we did that on purpose because COVID, and because some of you are 100% virtual, and some of you are, 2 days a week, and you need that extra guidance. So pretend that these sides, that's us. That's us in the room with you, trying to lead you through the assignment, trying to teach, etc. Okay. So always look for those things. So for example, this one's going to tell you that when you click on a video, you can make it larger, you can go directly to YouTube, or you can watch it right in the notebook. Okay. The next thing is the schedule. And the schedule is going to tell you what we're doing every week from now till the end of the quarter. So those of you that like the big picture, there you go. In addition to the schedule that you see here, which I'm going to make big in just a second, you're going to notice on the side, we've suggested weekly schedule to follow. So you're going to notice this first week, complete 2 to 3 activities each day, and you'll be successful by Friday. You're going to notice that when we go to weeks 2 to 5, Monday and Tuesday, read or view the assigned act of Macbeth, and then Wednesday through Friday, work on the notebook activities or the Freyer model. And then week 6 is obviously the project. So please make sure you're paying attention to the sides. That's us trying to direct you and help you from afar.
A lot of instructional things that we're offering are probably going to be on an easel or something like that, whereas the televisions are always going to be set up for your videos.
Okay. And I'm going to briefly go through this. Your week 1, Macbeth, notebook activities, quiz 3 for vocab. Week 2, act 1, Freyer model, notebook 2. It's the same process all the way down. I don't think I need to read that to you. So you just want to make sure you're keeping up with it. This should help you keep up with assignments. You know what's coming. There's no extra surprises. We're not assigning anything over Thanksgiving week. I think I'm going to eat some turkey and mashed potatoes. I don't know about you, but we're not assigning anything. The other thing we want to make you aware of is be prepared for a Google Classroom discussion thread. For Miss Whitworth, that may be, she does that during a Zoom. Obviously, I'm still out due to family emergency. But so I might post a discussion question, but that would be the only additional from me. So as the rest of this video is just kind of walking you through each part, and we can just alternate slides if you want to. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say this next slide is basically when we're getting ready to read Shakespeare, we have a lot of themes and a lot of techniques that are great in English class, but it's from a long time ago. So our language keeps changing and keeps changing and keeps changing. So this whole slide right here, it's just to kind of get your head through why the language is what it is. A lot of people are scared of Shakespeare just because of the language. However, like it's just thinking about, we all have slang in our style of speaking and texting. It's different for everybody. And so you just have to get into how that person is speaking. And so a lot of these videos are gonna be there for you. In addition to that, it's a play. It's not a book. It's not a movie. And so there are certain things that you need to understand about what can happen on a stage in front of a live audience. This isn't something that if somebody misses their cue, that they can go back and cut it out and then edit it. This is live on stage. And so you need to know certain things that are happening on stage.
And this slide is a resource. I highly suggest you watch a couple of these, but we're not, there's not an assignment attached to it, but it really will help. She mentioned slang. Shakespeare was the master of slang. You have to understand that he had to appeal to the lower class, if you will, and the upper echelons. And so he was so good at it that his insults and some of his phrases we still use. So he's like, the slang master, if you will, like that is Shakespeare. It's just 400 years ago.
Yeah, he created the word villain. He created 1,800 words. Why did he create new words? Is because he was writing in a poetry style and he needed to say something in so many syllables. So if there wasn't a word that existed, he created one. Have you guys ever done that before or heard about that? That like we say the word turnt now, that's one syllable. What does that mean? 50 years ago, they didn't know what the word turnt mean. So we do the same thing.
The next slide is basically the play. There are multiple ways to view and read the play. I'm going to suggest that you view multiple sections. This is not meant to just be read. Will we look closely at small passages? Yes, but the more you view it, the better you're going to understand it. So what you'll notice here is there's multiple opportunities to make sure you understand it, whatever works for you. These two sources up at the top, those are my preferred ones when studying and really trying to understand it. This one right here has the text on the side and you get to view scene by scene. So you can go back and forth. That's why I love it. There's YouTube versions. If it's a rainy day, you can watch the whole thing. You can watch the whole thing on day one. Already know. And then you just get time to dig in. There's also the PDF version, which you have a side-by-side of the old language plus the new. That's going to help you even more. And then there's the audiobook version if you want to listen to it. Honors, you also have the version that is in your honors textbook. I don't care which version you use, but it's all up to you. Do what works for you.
Right. Most of the versions, it doesn't matter which one you choose. Most of them all say the same line number. So the way that you cite Shakespeare is act, scene, line number. You don't tell me what page because there are multiple ways. So you would say act 1, scene 3, line 4 and 5. It doesn't matter if you are watching the YouTube version or the PDF version, that line 4 and 5 is still going to be line 4 and 5.
Yep. All right, this week we have 3 learning targets for general and 4 for honors. So the 3 that are the same in both is I can understand background knowledge. So it's all about background, knowing who Shakespeare was, what's the context of Macbeth, what is the story of Macbeth, just getting your feet wet, that you can still cite strong and thorough textual evidence, and that you can gather relevant information from multiple sources, aka you can take some notes. Honors, you're also your other target is you understand rhetoric, just the basic foundation, you know what it is, and then we're going to apply as we go forward. Speaking of grading, what you're going to notice here is the spinner of fate, because Macbeth, you have to decide, is it fate versus free will? There's a hint for you. But remember, we said these are all your assignments. Completion, you're going to get 50 points for completion, 50 for accuracy. You just don't know which one we're going to pick. So that's all that slide is.
So this is the spinner of fate. We're going to spin this, and then we will be able to choose. It might be different for periods. It might be different for teachers. So if I'm in Whitworth's first period, I may be, character tree. I may be graded on my character tree. If I'm in my third or my fifth period, it may be the drama vocabulary. So you don't know what it is for accuracy. Make sure that you do them all accurate and that you try your hardest. Also, if I find one spot of plagiarism, it's a zero.
Yeah, whole thing. Don't plagiarize. We're giving you all the information, but we are expecting you to use your brain, your muscles to put some notes out, right? And you shouldn't be copying off of someone in another period. Use your own brain. That's the only way you're going to learn this. All these other slides that look like this, you're taking Cornell notes. You're going to see videos on the left-hand side. You're going to watch all videos and you're going to take notes. If you don't know what Cornell notes are, there's an instructional 2-minute video over here. You're going to watch that. If you had me last year, we did Cornell notes. So if you remember, great. If you don't, watch that video. The other thing is, some of you are going to, I personally write lots of notes because that's how I retain information. The more notes you make, the better off you're going to be for your final exam. That's all I'm going to say. So if you need more room, then you need to duplicate the slide. Now, how you do that, you go over to the slide, right click, click duplicate, and it automatically puts another one in. Looks the same, right? That's fine. So for any of the slides that say Cornell notes, that's how you do it. So I'm not like, so there's a Cornell notes about drama. You have a Cornell notes about Shakespeare, just in general, some 10 facts. You have Shakespeare's life, Elizabethan life, like what was it back like that in the time, an animated summary of Macbeth. Honors, you have some rhetoric notes that I'm going to ask you to do. So those are all, it's a bunch of note taking. So you're really going to improve your note taking skills.
Yeah, this week, think about this whole week as a learn about it, because this unit is 6 weeks long.
Yep. The other things that you have is why Macbeth, like why are we doing this? You're going to watch a video. You're going to summarize that argument. And then the very last thing is you're going to choose one of these videos or both, and you're going to write a journal response about fate. You know, are our lives directed by fate, whatever you think fate is, or do we have free will? Do we direct ourselves? There's more to that, so you're going to want to watch some videos because that is a big theme in the play Macbeth, and we want to know your thoughts right up front. Right. And then you also have a character tree if you want to talk about that, Ms. Whitworth.
The character tree, what you're going to do is, because of the fact that Zoom is unstable sometimes, we're going to create another video and it'll be over here on the side. And then that video, we're going to be talking about the character breakdown and the overview of Macbeth. You're required to watch that video because as I'm talking to you about the characters, Ms. Cockcroft and I are going to just sit, just have a chit chat about it. What you're going to do is you're actually going to pick up the things from the side and you're going to place them where they need to be. So if I'm talking about Macbeth and then I talk about the description, you're going to type over where it says your description here. But then I say, oh, he's married to Lady Macbeth. And so Lady Macbeth, and I'm going to talk to where Lady Macbeth should be. So you're going to go over, find Lady Macbeth, pick that piece up, and you're going to move it where it needs to be. Now, these arrows down here at the bottom, the red are arrows that actively change the course of another character. So Macbeth actively changes the course of, Banquo. So you would
say that.
So So if I choose Banquo and I move Banquo over here, because I'm telling you that Banquo is his best friend. However, this happens, Macbeth actively changes the course of Banquo. So now I have to connect them with a red arrow. Okay. So if it is a family relation or I don't know, a loyalty relation, you're going to connect them with a blue line. So if Macbeth was connected to Banquo through loyalty and family, then I would connect them with the blue line instead of the red arrow. I've put multiple ones over here to the right so that you can choose at your leisure. You need to make sure that you watch the film so that you know which one goes where. And this could be one of the ones of accuracy. So if you're filling it in with just blue lines everywhere, you're going to lose a lot of points because it matters how the people are connected.
Yep. And I want you to think of this like we were up at the whiteboard doing this together. So it's essentially kind of what this character tree is, only you're watching the video because we can't be with you and you're doing the activity. And that's pretty much, I think that's it. Your main goal is to get that background information so that weeks 2 through 5, you're like on it, really successful. There is something else here that you could choose to do, but I'm not gonna like really say it, but it's there that could possibly help you as long as you follow directions. And I believe that is it. Make sure you're reaching out, emailing before due dates. Like this is due Friday, 11:59 p.m. So don't email saying I couldn't figure it out on Friday at 10 p.m. because that's not gonna work out for you. Do a little bit each day and you will be successful. And I believe that's it.
That is it.
Adios. Floating daggers. Daggers everywhere. What does it mean? I don't know.